Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Man United Agenda. And we are doing a preview show today of the one and only Southampton versus Manchester United. Welcome to the channel, guys. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Man United Agenda. And we are joined by, as always, our resident is Omundi. How are we doing, sir? Just finished work. And after the show, I'm sure he's going to sit there and jump straight into bed because he had a long day today. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling okay. I've come home. This is my real job, you know. Even though I don't get paid for this, I get paid in riches, you know, being part of this wonderful family of the Man United Agenda. I'm delighted.
Welcome, sir. And Pat, as always, how are we feeling today? Was it sunny in Dublin today, or did you have a bit of rain, or did you actually go swimming in that cold sea of yours?
No, lads, the cold water's coming back. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to go dipping anymore, unless I fancy a draw of hypothermia. But I don't fancy that now at the moment. You know, our 2-week summer is over.
Oh, yeah, 2 weeks. Jesus, still cold, but this guy's going skinny dipping. Oh, did I say that? Oh, sorry. Oh, and Jack from United Community Channel, sir, it's a pleasure as always having you back on. How you doing?
Great, good to be back again, guys. Pleasure is all mine. Thanks for having me.
Excellent. And at the bottom of the show tonight, guys, is Irish. It's the Irish you know, brothers at the bottom, and at the top, unfortunately, we're from London, so what do we know? It's been absolutely hammering down for rain today, but what Omundi will probably tell you, it's nice because it basically breaks up a little bit. So, you know, no towels, no nothing out to their wiping the brows. But guys, we are here to go on.
Sorry, I think Klopp would love this rain. It was just right grass with it, you know. That's my excuses. Anyway. Yeah.
It is an excuse. It's either the pitch wasn't watery enough, or you know, Milner got sent in row Z or something like that. You never know. I'm still waiting for him to come down from the space shuttle, but we ain't seen him. He ain't orbit Earth yet. So you know, after Sancho twisted and turned. So guys, we are going to be previewing Southampton versus Manchester United today, and what we would like to do is the history of Southampton versus Manchester United. I've got a little bit about history, not a lot of history about Man United Southampton. So it's a fixture that basically the last 3 games I've gone in where it's been 1-1, and then also the 9-0 win. I don't really look at that 9-0 win and sort of parade and sort of celebrate it because it's 9-0. We've done it before against Ipswich Town and a couple other teams as well. So let's kickstart the show and let's go to Pat first. Pat, fixture for Manchester United, the history of this fixture, very important. They've got a new manager in who can play the game. At home, they play a formation of 4-3-3. Away, they play a 4-2-3-1. Setting up the last game they played against Leicester City, they won that one as well. So what can you tell us a little bit more about Southampton Man United?
Southampton, I like Southampton because they're a good club. They have a good record of bringing through good footballers and playing good football. What do I say about them? We've played them a total of, I think we've beat them 35 times and they've beat us 78 times. So we've an upper hand on them. So I'm kind of hoping that we continue our results from Liverpool and we keep progressing forward and we get a win this weekend. That's what I'd like to see.
Yeah, and I know what Pat's saying, 37. That's in actual all competition, what Pat's talking about. But in actual Premier League itself, I think it is 22 played. Man United have won 11, and there's been 9 draws as well in that time, and just in the Premier League itself. On Monday, Southampton, Ross, I can't even pronounce his name. The Southampton manager, basically, style of football, brand of football he play, it's almost like on the counter attack as well. So going in, looking at the history of this fixture and looking at probably last 3 to 4 games as well, what can you probably look at this new sort of Man United team that came out against Liverpool on the weekend and think to yourself what they can bring?
Well, look, I have to give props to Southampton. they're not the biggest club in the world. Obviously, they got a new stadium, St Mary's, from the Dell many years ago, but they were an established Premiership team from the day one. And they've had some great players over the years, you know. And I remember Danny Wallace, we signed him, and Matt Letizia was a world-class player for 2 years, 3 years. He was scoring some unbelievable goals. And then obviously Alan Shearer, we wanted him, but he ended up going to Blackburn instead. So we know what happened there. They won the title. But Southampton, you have to give them respect the way. And then manager as well. I thought they were going to get relegated last year. They had a really poor run. But they've got their act together. They're doing good business, and they've got a good team. And what really surprises me, we've had a bad start to the league. Obviously, on Monday, something big happened. We beat Liverpool Football Club, who's supposed to be like pretenders for the throne and that kind of thing. And
you missed a game there. Again.
Yeah, 4-0. What's that on aggregate now? Yeah, you take that. About 9-0. Yeah. So I'm going into that game. We've got momentum now, and I think obviously there's other factors as well. We've got new players coming in. We will name them later, and we're on the up. We feel like we're on the up, and we can only go there with the same attitude and mindset that we did when we played Liverpool. And I think that people are getting on board now with what's happened. So the travelling fans going to the game, the people doing watchalongs, you know, me and Pat will be watching the game together. It's going to be exciting. And what everyone's a bit apprehensive about is that can we get some consistency, go to the Dell and actually get a good result there against a team who aren't no mugs, and a team I don't know how they're going to set up because they play 3 different systems for every game they played this season. So it's going to be very interesting. It's so early in the season, I can't even predict anything about how they're going to set up, how we're going to play against them, and I can't even predict our lineup. Which, Errol, you've got the pressure tonight to actually, how do you fit these guys in, these new guys? So I can't wait for Solo's 11. I know you guys in the comments as well cannot wait to see what Solo's put out there. He has to be a mind reader or something to get this right, because it's going to be really tough for him tonight. So I'm really looking forward to the game. It's going to be really good. They're going to put on us for sure, and we'll see how we stand up to that.
And Jack, coming to you next. Basically, obviously, I'm on the touch about Southampton no mugs. They play 3 different systems at home. They do play that 4-3-3 formation at home as well. The manager, rumor had it, was under a lot of pressure, and it's a case of he's actually lasted longer than what they thought, because everyone, newspaper was coming out reports about him losing his job before the season kicked off. What sort of pressure, and plus this is Ten Hag's first game as well, what sort of pressure do you think obviously he will be under? Because at Southampton, they class themselves as a big club, as what Omundi said. You've got to give them respect as well for the football they play, the brand of style of football they play as well. What sort of pressure will he be under going into this game?
Well, I think he is under a bit of pressure in relation to a bit of consistency for Southampton, because we've seen since Hassan Hüttl has taken over, they've had spells where they've been very good, but they've also had spells, well, not spells, but they've also had games where they've been heavily beaten in the last couple of seasons. You know, in relation to the game itself, I mean, I think obviously Manchester United coming off of such a great win against Liverpool, where, you know, you had the you know, maybe the, I wouldn't say tension, but the kind of, you know, the spirit of maybe the peaceful protest that went on before, it carried into the ground, you know, and it did give the players an edge. I think it is going to be interesting to see how Manchester United now go away from home to, you know, not one of their main rivals. And like the guys were saying, try and, you know, form a bit of consistency over the next couple of weeks, because I think it's very important for United, you know, especially on the back of the Liverpool game. You know, we finally got a victory, you know, that we were craving for, and who better to get it against. So now is an ideal time for United to kick on and, you know, get a couple of results, maybe on the road against some of the lesser teams. I mean, you know, we're coming up against Arsenal, I think, in 2 weeks' time as well. So these are the kind of games that United need to be getting points on the board. And I just hope, like the guys were saying, that we can get that kind of run of form going, especially away from home and not against massive rivals.
Yeah, and it's going to be, like you said, the history of it, and it's going to be difficult. And the reason why I think it's going to be a tough ask, how he's going to rotate the team to get the best out of the players, probably some of the squad players who didn't play. Will he get the new signing to slot straight in? Again, that's another question. But also, this will be his first game up against Southampton under under Ranić. Basically, the result wasn't as glamorous, the 1-1 draw for them. And for me, it's going to be a tough ask, and Southampton is going to be a very hard team to beat. And like what Pat said earlier, we are going to go on to some of these players because they have got some half decent players within their team as well. So, Amanda, would you mind just hitting some of these comments out for us, please?
No problem at all. I want to say hi to HG Gamer. He's saying he's feeling confident about the match. 16-0 to United, but he's joking. The real score, he's saying 2-0. We're going to get to the scorelines later. And also 5-0, he's saying it would be nice to get our goal difference up. Eddie, Football Waffle, how you doing? Go check out his channel. Nice to see you in the chat. FTTB column, if you didn't see his show earlier with Rebel, it's a smasher, scorcher. Go and check that out on the new FT Sports Network. It's called now.
Full-time Sports Network.
Okay, it's been rebranded, so you better change your name, column, because no one will find you there. Gavin Ward saying package deal with Barca. Okay, he's talking about transfers. We come on to that. Andy Long, how you doing, man? He said we borrowed the Paddock's clock. Rebel in the house, just on a show with FT Sports Network column. He's saying, well, folks, that's what's the crack. Looking forward to hearing the views ahead of Saturday's game with the Saints. Andy Long again saying blaming a Monday. It's always a Monday when he's not on. Talking about us being late again. Who's to blame? Anyone? Always you. Gavin Ward saying there should be a rule. Every 1 minute that we're late equals 1 free membership. I don't know how you feel about that, Solo, but he's got onto something there.
He's onto a winner.
Good job in. Eddie again saying for such a good manager, Klopp has some wild excuses. Robbie Norman's going way back saying we should wear the invisible jerseys, the grey ones that Fergie changed at half time. Eddie saying 9-0 when they had 10 men. That's the point. The draws last season are more relevant to look at. They can be decent, he's saying. Gavin Ward as well. Saying we're going to say the same thing about the grey kit. That was a classic. Legendary Apex. How you doing, man? He said, I don't know why people are talking about Casemiro's age. Why don't they see now we have the best midfielder in the league? Best midfield in the league, meaning Casemiro, Bruno, Eriksson. God bless De Jong, with Zidane and Charlie in the box. Wow.
Can I say something? Where's Fred?
Not a mention. Hassan Huta is overrated, says Box. They get battered every season and then drift off towards relegation. This is Southampton. I want to say hi to Emma Kay. How are you, Emma? She's saying we've beaten them 9-0. Surely something like that can happen again. I'm getting overexcited. They're dangerous set pieces with Ward, of course, Ward Prowse, and just rolling down. And Gopal is in the house as well. Want to say hi to Paddy. See you soon, Paddy. And Stuart Marshall becoming a regular man. Big up, Stuart Marshall.
Big up, Stuart.
And finally, without fail,
Stumpy
is here. And he's saying fuzzy picture. Maybe take off your glasses. Anyway, let's move on.
Okay, brilliant. So, guys, if you're new to the channel, 26 in the chat, please give us a subscribe. If you're not new to the channel, just give us a like. And we will move on to the next subject. And the next subject will be key threats for Southampton. So we're going to start off with who first? Should we start off with on the key? Should I go? You know what? As the you know what? Let's go, Paddy. I'm saying Paddy. Jesus, I got it. Pat, go first, and then I'll go to Jack afterwards. Paddy, I apologize, Paddy. Do not. I know it's ruthless and I know it's aggressive, but leave
Paddy,
me
don't use ruthless aggression on Solo.
Leave me alone. Leave me alone.
I won't elaborate on the whole team. So what I'll do is I'll start with the defense and two players that I like. Okay, he signed. Hope I'm not creaming his name here, but it looks like Joe Arabo. Okay, the central midfielder. Since he came in, he's done all right. He's good little footballer. He plays in the centre midfield and he can play on the right side of the midfield as well. And he signed him from Rangers in July, and he has an assist already. So that's not a bad start for someone who just came in July. And then they have Kyle Walker-Peters. I think Kyle Walker-Peters is a great footballer. How he's still at the team, I don't know. So they're my two danger men you want to look out for in defence. Because Kyle Walker-Peters can do as much as most people are going to be looking out for James Ward-Prowse. It's Kyle Walker's. I want to be looking out for on the day, to be honest.
Yeah. Jack, sir.
Yeah, I agree there in relation to Walker-Peters. I mean, I think he scored a goal already this season as well.
Goal and an assist, Jack.
And an assist, yeah. I mean, yeah, absolutely. I agree with you there. How he's still at Southampton, he could easily be playing at a higher standard. Look, I mean, obviously you have to take Ward-Prowse, you know, in relation to his set piece attributes, he's just lethal, you know. And I think United do really have to be careful in relation to the intensity that they play the game. If I know we're going to get on to Casemiro later, but you know, if he is to come in and try and make a name for himself, we don't want to be giving away free kicks on the edge of the box. The other one, obviously, then is Che Adams. I mean, he came off the bench last week and scored 2 goals in the space of a half an hour. I've always rated him. I think I've had him in my fantasy football team for 3 years now, without doubt. He's always been there. He's always good for a goal. And I suppose other than that, you know, we have the Irish contingency with Bazunu in the goal, you know, and I think he's quite a good goalkeeper as well. So, look, I think United are going to have their work cut out for him, absolutely. And, you know, like Southampton shouldn't be taken for granted because they do have, you know, players that can absolutely hurt United.
Yeah, very true there. Omundi?
Yeah, just to highlight Che Adams as well. I think he's a big bulldog, isn't he? He's so big and strong, and he can defenders bounce off him in a way. So it'd be interesting to see how we line up, especially with all the maybe question marks, even though they were answered from Martinez. When you're up against a big unit like that, who's strong, can run the channels as well, I think maybe we need to look at who's how to tie him down a little bit. Also, I just want to say Bela Kutschap. I've always rated this guy from Germany. He's playing in the German second division not too long ago. Centre back, this is that Southampton's bought. And I always wonder, why does Southampton get away with buying these guys? Because I guarantee in a couple of years, someone will be paying big money for him. It's a good club, Southampton, to bring players through and let them get first team football. And we've seen it so many times in the past. I wouldn't say they're really a selling club, but they do develop their players, and they've always had a great youth academy. You can think of all the great players, Theo Walcott, Ox, Bell, have come through that club, you know, and even now James Ward-Prowse as well. So they're a good setup. You have to give them respect. But we're going down there, and I think we can neutralise, if you look at it on paper, we can neutralise all of their threats and cause them a problem if the mindset is right. That's the main thing. And just to say one more thing, I had a great quote. If you watched on Tuesday night at 10 p.m, the eye test, I keep plugging it, but it's so good. There's a great quote from Bath Time in Vaughan, and he said, it's not the players, it's the system that creates goals.
So is there a chance that Southampton, Omundi, this won't be going to you, is it a chance that Southampton may play the ball over the top a lot and try and, because they do play that kind of game, and try and target Martinez?
Look, I can't predict because, like I said, in the 3 different games they played, 5 against Tottenham, who they've obviously felt were a threat. They played 5-3-2, 2 guys up front, and then the other game they played a 3-4-2-1, and then they played a 3-4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1 as well. Yeah. So I think if you're playing against Man United, as you know, we've watched a show together, Pat. I think you do need to target, play long balls. That's what worked with Brighton and Brentford against us. Play those long ball, bypass the midfield, and bully us and attack the second and third ball. And I think the manager's really good at that as well. He sort of plays a similar style to Klopp, and the 2 runners as well up front. They will close you down. They'll put it on you. And if you can, the thing is, if you can beat that, the physicality side of things, and then start playing football, you've got a chance. But that's the first thing. You've got to go out there and beat them physically first and take on whatever they bring to us, because we are more talented. We are a better team. They will only beat us if they put it on us and we fold under the pressure. That's the only way I can see it. I'm not underestimating them, but that's a fact. So if you're coming up against Man United, I think you're right, Pat, by saying that you should use your advantages, which we just, myself and Jack have both said, that Che Adams is effective and he will cause problems. The second, third ball off him, pinning down defenders. I feel that would be their best way of getting a result against us.
Yeah, and touching on that as well, on Monday, obviously we're saying about the Martinez. So far, it has been reported against sort of like Brighton game we played, the Brentford game we played. There was rumors that they target him alone. Obviously, with Chad Evans, as we're saying here, there's a possibility that there will
Che.
There will basically.
Chad Evans. We don't want to talk about him. Don't want to talk about Chad Evans.
No. Che Adams. I'll say Che Evans. Che Adams. That's another story. Yeah. So basically, he probably will be targeted because of his height. But like you said, from what we saw from the Liverpool game itself, it showed he can actually. It's about a couple of games, just getting into the routine, getting into the swing of things, getting used to the Premier League itself, to basically allow him now. And defenders, even as much as they're saying he's going to get targeted, I'm going to be open and honest with you. I think defenders might now probably a bit more wary of him. And go on.
1 point, Liverpool didn't play long passes like Brighton and Brentford did against us.
No.
Just
Yeah. So again, for me as well, and we're talking about threats as well. We talk about Ward-Prowse as well. With him, I'm happy in my team. I have not got Harry Maguire in it. I haven't got Wan-Bissaka in it to give away any free kicks around the sort of 25 yards to 30 yards box. So that's me. That's what I'm saying. But threats and stuff like that for me is Ward-Prowse. That's my threat. That's what I've gone for. Long range free kick.
To have Erik ten Hag and Ralph Hasenhüttl cross paths in the Dutch league, would they be familiar or playing with each other?
That's a good question, actually.
Yes, good question. I think they'll probably be familiarized with it, but the difference is from the Dutch league to probably the Premier League. It's obviously a bit more physical. It's a quicker game. It has taken sort of like Ten Hag. Well, it's only been 3 games before he sort of got his feet in, winning the first game. But with Hasenhüttl as well, it did take him time to get used to the Premier League as well.
Because it's just because I've seen Klopp and Ten Hag, and I'm sure they've came up against each other before. So even though he's new to the Premiership, they have got that history with each other.
Yeah, it's true.
So it'll be interesting.
Very true. Jack, anything on that?
Yeah, I mean, look, I think the way scouting departments work now, and you know, tactics and stuff like that, every manager has their homework done on every team, really, you know. And just finally to touch a bit on Martinez, I mean, the majority of teams we're going to play in the Premier League this year, they're going to have physicality up front. So, you know, I think we're after seeing the potential for a good partnership there between himself and Varane if both of them can stay fit. So I don't see why we should be breaking them up anytime soon.
Okay. We are going to go to some of the... Actually, before we go to some of the comments, guys, involved in the comments, just who do you think Southampton main threat will be in the comments? Also, we are going to talk about Manchester United main threats before we go to the comments. Adam, I can see Adam Doyle as well. Welcome back to the channel, sir. And you were on yesterday as well. So let's go for threats, and let's go to Jack. Jack, threats for Manchester United.
Well, I think the main threat the main threat we had against Liverpool obviously was pacing behind. Now I can't see Southampton playing as high a line as Liverpool will, so I would expect the likes of Bruno and maybe Eriksen to start together. I think it's been an issue with Manchester United over the last few years that we get to that final third and we don't know where to go after that. We kind of tend to stop and run out of ideas. I think maybe that's where they'll come into play a lot more. You know, I think is Casemiro going to start? Who knows? I don't think that's maybe the area or the focal point we need to really focus on an awful lot. I think we've had Rashford now who's been searching for a bit of form and searching for a bit of confidence. Same with Sancho, you would have to say. So I do think, and I would give them the chance to go ahead again and, you know, to build on what they've done last week. I would like to see Martial come back into the team because, again, you know, I think his hold-up play and his link-up play is fantastic. And we've seen it in the second half against Liverpool, how silky smooth he is on the ball. He's just, you know, he's the coolest man on the face of the planet when he's surrounded by players. So I think that does an awful lot because, especially if you're playing against a low block, he's going to suck players into him. You know, he'll create spaces left and right and in behind for little 1-2. So I think that's probably going to be our best chance, really.
Oh, wow. On Monday, we're going to go with you, Man United. Where would the threat become coming from?
The threat, like I said before, is the system. If we can get the system right, it's true. I think it's really true. I've learned a lot about this now. I think the system is the most important threat. The first thing is we have to have that insurance at the back, which is the rest defense. you know about the rest defense. That means 5 at the back at all times and 5 attacking players. That 5 at the back is the insurance, you know, and with Casemiro there now as well, I think when they turn over the ball, we've got the rest defense there with Casemiro, the 2 fullbacks, 2 centre backs, and they can pinch the ball, pin down players, and then get the ball turned over again in their half and 1-2 passes, we can score. We can play quite direct as well now. So I think if we can set ourselves up and continue with the system that we've got, we showed many examples against Liverpool how the rest defense is working and how to counter press teams like that. We just have to have control over the whole game and get on top of them. And then whenever they turn over the ball, we're there to eat it up, yam it up, say yum, yum. Let's pass it on to the guys again and let the 5 attackers really sort of hurt them. I think if we continue to do that, that's all I want to see. Even if we win 1-0, if we continue to do that, we're going to be really set out well for the season, because it's about having that balance on both ends. So for me, it's the system will be the most effective thing. And that includes, so the main threat for me would be the defence. I think the defenders need to be on point like they were against Liverpool. And that means being organised, compact when we haven't got the ball, having a low block or mid block like Pat loves the mid block at the moment. What he's seen with Man United, that's where we can really cancel them out. If we turn over the ball there, like we did against Liverpool, we create chances. So it's about being organised. And I think someone in defence with a good mouth, with good organisation skills, who's organised everything, he will be the main threat for us, because he will be getting us in shape and getting us to create chances. And I think Eriksen as well is a key player, because he gets out his feet really quickly and he can pass the ball into the right areas and penetrate, bypass their midfield and just get balls to feet or into space for people to run on to create chances. So the system and Eriksen and someone at the back talking, keeping the defence nice and organised.
Yeah, great point that is. I'm going to go for my player this season. I'm going to keep doing it because I honestly believe he is going to be the player this season. And on the performance against Liverpool, I thought he was one of the standout performers, and that's Jadon Sancho. It's just for me, looking at him, his link-up play as well. Obviously, the goal he got against Liverpool, James Milner sitting on his arse, I think sort of worked great. But it's not only that. I just think the way he links up with sort of a Rashford, the way he went with Bruno Fernandes as well, it's, for me, the chemistry is there already. All it is now is be consistent. And I think you're right what you're saying, Omundi, about obviously sometimes it's not the players, it's about the system that will win game. I've listened to sort of podcasts with Klopp talking, and for me, the way I always say with Liverpool, they could bring anyone from the youth in and just drop them into that first team and they'll settle in completely, because it's from the youth academy straight up to the senior team with the system and the style of play they use. So you're right in that, but I'm going to still stick there. For me, not tomorrow, but for Saturday, Jadon Sancho should be our standout player for me. But also, there's a little bit about me is thinking of Rashford as well. I think Rashford is he did the right thing against Liverpool by running those channels and things like that and creating space. Unfortunately, it's just the end product he just need to work on in training a bit harder. Let's go. Jack, anything on that at all?
Yeah, I think you basically hit the nail on the head there, and with Sancho as well. What I was really happy to see the other night, because we've seen clips of it when he was at Borussia Dortmund, is that he was taking on players at pace rather than slowly tiptoeing up to the defender one-on-one. He was actually, as soon as he got on the ball, if he had 5 yards, he was taken off, and I think that's where he excels. Really, he gets defenders onto the back foot. So I absolutely agree, and hopefully we can see more of it.
Yeah,
I do agree what you were saying there as well. Apologies about the system. And Ranić even said it last year when he was manager. He said, first, the club needs to find a way of playing and find players to fit that system. So you're dead right in what you're saying there in relation to the youth system and all underage teams playing the same way. You can just pick a player and then put him into the first team. It just makes complete and utter sense.
Yeah. Pat?
What do I want to see the weekend? I want to see Anthony Martial start again. As much as Anthony Elanga played fantastic, and I do like the young lads, when Martial came on, you could see that quality and you could see the difference of how they all work together up top. If we can just revert back to the Aston Villa goal where Dalot picked it up on the right-hand side, out of nowhere, Aston Villa had an attack. Dalot picks it up, sprays it into Fernandes. Fernandes out to Rashford to Shaw, overlap and run, back in across to Sancho. I nearly threw the dog across the room. I got that excited. The ball moved that quick. If I see another bit of that the weekend, I'm telling you, Omundi, you better put the dogs out the back.
Oh,
That was the
brilliant.
best
I'm on it.
The second half didn't go how the first half went, but if I can see football like that again, I'll be a happy little Irishman, I tell you, lads.
But with that, what Pat's saying as well on Monday, I think that's probably for me. I always say last season and on the social as well, Man United is a team of two halves. You don't know which half's going to come out. But against Liverpool, that's probably the most complete 90 minutes I've seen from Manchester United in probably, I would say, what? Since Ferguson. And that's me being open and honest. Complete 90 minutes.
Well, look, it's about, I always say this is about control. But first of all, before I get to my point, how the hell can you reenact a goal like that, Pat? I don't know how you remember that goal so well. You know, every player, every touch you had down to a T. It's like you dream. Hopefully,
I've been waiting for it for so long, Omundi.
There you go. Hopefully, there'll be more moments like that where you can reenact goals this season. But yeah, I think it's all about control. What we did. This is what I'm saying about stats don't mean nothing to me. Possession stats and all that kind of thing. We were in control of that game. So there's two phases: when you got the ball, when you haven't got the ball. So when we had the ball, we were able to hurt them because they play a high line and we played long balls in behind and got and had energy to get the first and second ball and even the third ball off them. That's how we hurt them. They expected us to play the ball out from the back. So tactically, we were ahead of them already. Once we got the goal up, we could allow them to come at us because we had a low block, which was very organised. So we're in control once again. And as soon as the ball broke down, rest defence, play it out, quick through passes with the fast guys up front, we were in. So we were in control at all times. A bit like Usyk against Joshua. You're watching a fight, but you know one man's got ring generalship here and in control at all times and knows exactly what he's doing, you know? And that's what Man United have been doing against Liverpool. That's what I want to see against Southampton. Have that control. So even if we are on the back foot and we're soaking up pressure, it looks like, you know, fans need to get more intelligent now. Because, oh, my God, get it out. Oh, God, we're under pressure. We can't keep the ball. Sometimes when you're on the back foot, it's easy. Easy work. You say, break us down. They can't. Teams cannot do that. You don't see Maradona or Pele running through players or Messi doing that. You know, you need to be an outstanding player to do that, to break teams down. So I think this system, once again, which will be the winner for us and is the winner right now, what we're seeing with the manager. A few more weeks of this, and I think we'll be all right.
Yeah, and again for us, it's going to be one of those ones just waiting patiently. But before we do that, guys, send the one in the chat. If you're new to the channel, just give the channel some support and hit that subscribe button. We are on the road to 2.5k subscriber, and if you haven't subscribed and you're old to the channel, just give us a like. Amanda, would you mind going through some of these comments? And I know there's a few comments about Harry Maguire as well in it, so be gentle, please.
Well, I got a roasting the other day because everyone was going in at me about Harry Maguire, and it's like they've been waiting on edge, waiting to bite as soon as he gets dropped or something. So well done, guys. You really made me suffer. Anyway, Steve Fletcher. I want to say hi, Steve Fletcher. He's the the premier winner of the competition on the Man United agenda. He's been on the show too. Haven't seen much of you lately. We want you back, Steve. He's saying big up to all the guys in the chat. And the people on the panel as well. Legendary Apex is saying, fun fact, Casemiro has more Champions League medals than Man United's entire history. Shay Evans, you asked the question. He's on fire, says Gavin Ward. So you asked the question, who's a threat? Rebel saying, surely playing the ball over the top to try to get at Martinez with Casemiro, in the team would play into our hands, he reckons. HG Gamer saying the Butcher will be playing with Champions League Varane. That's the lineup he feels. Steve Fletcher again saying Martinez hasn't lost a duel yet. This targeting Martinez is a media myth. It's not actually. They did actually do that. And sure, in the first two games. Adam Doyle says, yes, lads, how are we doing tonight? Can we all give Adam Doyle a wave? How are you doing?
Well done for yesterday, Adam. Great show yesterday.
Saragon saying, hey, talk. And what about Fred link up with Carlos Casemiro? Emma's asking, I still can't believe we actually have Casemiro. Can't wait to see him in United shirt and on the pitch. Saragon again saying, only Dutch thing Ralph has experienced is a Dutch oven. Gavin Ward is saying we should play exactly like we did against Liverpool. Their fullbacks, Peters, is very much like Trent in getting forward. Shay Evans again, but with Cope, says Steve Fletcher. Would ask the question. Main threat would be from set pieces from Southampton, says Andy Long. Boxer saying he wouldn't play Elanga. Honestly, he wouldn't think McTominay will start versus Southampton, says HG Gamer. And couple more here. I think if Bruno's captain, says Steve Fletcher, we'll see him grow back into one of our main threats again this season. Key threats again is going to be from set pieces from Anthony Herbert. So I think we're getting the message here. And here we go. You wanted the Maguire question. Eddie's asking, Omundi, your boy Maguire is dropped, and we see the first win and lack of mistakes and chemistry. Coincidence or not? So he's asking the question. I want to say hi to D Miz Mob. How you doing, man? He says, yes, lads. How you doing? And Eddie's saying we've got 33 in the comments, and maybe press some more if you don't mind, guys. And he's saying, Omundi, I've been waiting to see your slow, clumsy captain dropped. That's the tongue, isn't it? But yeah, thank you.
79 in the chat, guys. If you're new to the channel, please just give us a subscribe. If you're not new, like what Eddie said, just smash that like button as well. On the road to 2.5k subscriber. Without you guys, there wouldn't be a channel, and you wouldn't get to meet Solo, Omonde, Pat, and also Jack. Wow, that went, didn't it? I like it. It flowed. So what we're going to be doing now, guys, is we're going to be talking about changes in midfield and tactics with the arrival of Casemiro. So we are going to go to Jack. Casemiro hopefully will definitely feature this coming weekend. Can you see there's any changes to the system that Ten Hag is so used to playing coming up against Southampton this weekend coming?
I mean, I don't really see there being much change, to be quite honest. I think he'll come directly into the midfield. Obviously he may not be a starter on Saturday, but I mean, we've seen Bruno and Eriksen both play together in the midfield so far, and Ten Hag does like to play a possession-based game, as we can see, and I think Casemiro coming in and being that DM that we've desperately been looking for the last, it's at least 3 years we've needed one. I think that does free up a lot of options going forward, for the likes of an Eriksen and a Bruno to both play in the midfield together. And I can't see us overly changing an awful lot, and I think it was quite clear to see against Liverpool on Monday night that after the first two defeats, the pressure was on Ten Hag, and he could have easily changed the game coming up against, supposedly a title contender. So I think he's going to stick to his guns. I think he likes the way he plays. Again, he talks an awful lot when he's talking about interviews and signing players, especially with the transfer window still being open, that we don't just sign any player, we want to sign the right players. So I think he's going to get players in that fits his system. And so I don't see an awful lot changing, and I think Casemiro will slot straight in.
Okay, let's go to Omonde. We're going to go to next on the system.
Yeah, it's really interesting to see. We can sit here and speculate, have a whole show about how Casemiro comes into the side. I really don't know. I'm waiting to see how he does. Traditionally, you expect him to be like the deepest of the midfielders. He's, that's his game. That's what he does. But he's a kind of complete midfielder. I think he can do a bit of everything. So it'll really be interesting to see how he's incorporated into the side with the midfield three. I hope that we have. I don't like this two-man midfield. I would prefer a three where Bruno's sort of starting deep, and I've been saying that for a long time now. So Casemiro, how he's incorporated the side, I just don't know, and I'm just excited to find out, and we will be finding out on Saturday lunchtime, won't we, Pat?
I love it. Keep plugging it, Pat. Go on, Pat. Just do it, Pat. Go on, Pat. Do it.
Well, I'll give my opinion now and again on Saturday, lads. But what I'm going to say now is Casemiro, right? Where do I start? I know what I want to see. I want to see the exact same thing from Casemiro that I saw from Malacia and Martinez against the Scousers. His first challenge, I want to see him put someone into the stands or up in the air, rile the crowd, and everybody gets going. And then Malacia keeps doing it. Like, Dalot got so excited by Malacia and Martinez putting in tackles last year. He got a yellow card. I didn't even know Dalot could get a yellow card. That's like a puppy kicking a man. That's the other way around. So I want to see Casemiro getting stuck in. I want to see people be afraid of Manchester United again. And that's what I want to see this man bring. Is Ten Hag going to change to 4-2-3-1? I don't think so. Will he eventually go to some sort of a 4-3-3 or a diamond? I'd like to think so, because we've heard murmurs that that's kind of a preferred formation. But for now, I just want to see him bring that bit of steel for starters before he does anything else.
And for me, I'm going to say I'm going to steal Omundi's line. I'm going to steal your line as well, Pat, because it's that fear factor again. And we need to bring that fear factor, whether it's at Old Trafford or any other ground we go to. We can talk about the past. We can talk about the Roy Keane of the world. We could even talk about, I'm not going to say Gary Neville because he didn't bring no fear factor really and truly as Manchester United, even though he's the captain at Man United. But it's that fear factor where clubs are worried. When they see Manchester United coming again, we mean something. It is, you know what I mean? We're a big club, but we've not been a big club on the pitch lately. I want us to go back and be not probably, but be the biggest club where teams are fearful of what we're going to produce on the pitch.
I think it gives us a good spine as well, and it's what Manchester United have been missing for a long time with Casemiro coming in there. You know, we have now Varane and hopefully Martinez at the back, you know, as a good partnership. And now we have Casemiro just ahead of him, you know, and all good teams have a good, strong spine like that, and the rest will just fill itself in.
Yeah. And Anthony to hopefully come in as well, and De Jong to hopefully come in as well. So if that come in, we could on Monday, if that happens, then I'll start saying, okay, maybe we get top 4. Because I know you're the same weekend challenge for the league. But we'll bring the top 4.
You never know. Anthony could be signed for Manchester United by the time I get to London on Saturday, lads, you know.
There you go. Exactly. And guys, 75 in the chat. If you're new to the channel, just give us a subscribe. But on Monday, what I've noticed here at the moment, on Monday, and Pat is just plugging the hell out of a few things at the moment. Literally, eye test, plug in. London, plug in. Right. If you're new to the channel, guys, or if you're old to the channel, you're going to have a surprise on Saturday. That's all I'm going to say to you. You will be seeing a couple of us sitting down in front of a camera, doing a recording, going out live for the first time ever, I think it is. No, second time. Me and Mr. B on a Monday, we did a show, didn't we? In a car? Yes, we did.
Yeah.
Come from
We've
Manchester.
kind of stepped it up. We've gone from a car to my living room.
There you go. So join us. We will be live on Saturday.
Next to taking over the world.
Yeah, exactly.
First time in Manchester United agenda history.
There you go. Exactly. We're taking over Monday's house. So, guys, we're going to go through some comments now quickly. Would you mind, please, on Monday? And, guys, if you do get the opportunity to as well, you can also answer the question, changes of midfield and tactics with the arrival of Casemiro. So you can put it in the chat as well. We'll read it out, guys.
What we love about the Man United agenda in the comments is there's always a few jokes. So Andy Long saying Maguire had the best defensive performance last weekend. No one got near his seat. Here we go with back to common sense. HG Gamer saying Casemiro, Ericsson, the Scouser, Rattler, Bruno Fernandes. So that's the midfield 3 he wants. I've seen some things on Twitter about what combination. It's really hard to choose. I think on merit, I think it's going to change.
Solo 11 will tell you all. Solo 11 will tell you all about what's going to happen. So before we do that, though, guys, sorry, I'm going to get to continue the comments. Guys, put in your predicted 11 for the game against Southampton because that's next. Solo 11.
I want to see everyone's midfield 3. That's what I want to see. That's the first one.
I've got it. And it will happen. I've got it. So
Steve
I'm on there.
Fletcher.
Sorry.
We know Steve Fletcher is a man of very knowledgeable in football. He's saying, I agree. I think it's going to be a straight swap, Casemiro for McTominay. So everyone's got different opinions. Casemiro could play the false 11, says Candletop. Casemiro scored a great goal in the Champions League final in 2017. I don't remember it. I'll go and check it out later. Eddie saying, I agree. Monday, I want to see a tight midfield. Casemiro Hoden with Ericsson and Donny keeping it tight next to him and doing box-to-box business. Andy Long saying Casemiro is going to come in and control the midfield in a way that we haven't seen since the mini Ginger Ninja. And I think that's what Jack was sort of highlighting that as well about having the good spine and control. We haven't seen that sort of player for a long time. So on the same page, Jack. Gopal saying, can't wait for Casemiro. Didn't believe for 1 minute we were actually going to get him when I heard it for the first time. So, yeah, we're still in excitement here, some of the fans. And we still can't believe what's going on at Man United Football Club.
Guys, also, I've asked a question, but no cheating, yeah? I'm going to give you guys about 20 seconds to put it in the comments, yeah? Last time we played Southampton, who was man of the match in the 1-1 draw? On the panel, anyone can tell?
Officially or Our personal man of the match. Officially man of the match on the TV, or our personal?
I believe
man
it
of the match?
was. Yeah, it was. Yeah, he was. It was Man United man of the match.
David De Gea.
No, it wasn't.
McTominay.
Next.
McTominay.
Next. Jack.
Oh, I know. I should have known what this was straight away. It better not be Fred.
God,
It's not Fred. It's not Fred.
Oh wow. Jack.
Luke Shaw.
Boo! Luke Shaw.
Burger boy.
Burger fan.
No phone. No phone.
Just clever dick.
Who's got it?
That was a guess.
We should have guessed since he's playing against his old club.
Very
Oh,
good
yeah.
guess. Yeah, Luke Shaw was. Yeah, Luke Shaw was. So now the fun's done. I think, who is it? There's a few. Well, we had Andy said probably De Gea. Probably De Gea. Maguire, definitely. Stumpy.
Got it right.
Yeah. Right, guys. So this is now solo 11. So let's all play this game now. So what we're going to do is, I can see a few people getting their team in already. We will read out your teams as well, guys. So let's go. Let's remove the comment. Let's remove all of that off. Right. So let's have a look. And should we pick on Jack first and ask Jack what does he think of this selection of lineup? Because I've got my boy Fred in it, and it's a Brazilian combination as well. And I cannot wait for Anthony to join it as well. Woo!
Look, I mean, it's a solid team. Absolutely. Your boy would be the only one I change. As much as I hate saying it. Look, I mean, you know, obviously David De Gea in goal, you know, and the defense speaks for itself after the game, you know, on Monday night. I would take Fred out and have Eriksen in it just for, you know, I think Casemiro is such a good DM that he can nearly do that role on his own and allow Eriksen to get on the ball a bit more and link up with Bruno. So that's the only change I'd make. But again, you know, your top three, I think, nearly picked themselves at this stage as well. I think Anthony Elanga would be a bit unlucky because I did think he had a great first half on Monday. But yeah, I mean, absolutely nothing wrong with that team. You know, I'd be happy with that on Saturday.
But also with that, Jack, here, for Brazil, they've only lost one game for Brazil playing together, yeah? Just saying.
That's true.
That's
true. Yeah.
And he looks world-class playing for Brazil as well. So I think Casemiro can make him look a bit world-class, you know?
Well, that's what he does. In fairness, that's what he does. He frees up other players around him, you know, and he takes control of the midfield, you know. So absolutely. I mean, as long as he's in it, I'm happy.
Yeah. What is it now if I say Sancho to be our player of the season, but then Fred end up being our player of the season? Pat, sorry, what the team look like?
I'm still sitting here in amazement that we have Casemiro in our midfield. I really can't believe it. Like going back 2 weeks ago, we had that little curly-haired fella from Juventus coming over that nobody wanted. He didn't even want to come, and now we have Casemiro. What do I think of your team?
Pinch yourself. You're dreaming.
I know. What do I think of your team? Like Fred, I knew you were going to put Fred in. I just had a feeling. Regardless of who I pick or who I think we should go in, I think Erik ten Hag is going to stick with the same team against Liverpool. And he might introduce Casemiro and Martial in to replace McTominay and Elanga a lot earlier than expected. But he's still going to give them the opportunity to start the game because he played so well against Liverpool. And that's only him showing a bit of respect to them because on the night they showed up. So I have a feeling he might start with the same 11 that he went out against Liverpool.
On Monday, please do not pick this team apart. I beg you.
First of all, I think Fred. I would rather have McTominay or Eriksen in there for Fred.
What you rather thinking now, Scott?
I would rather have Scott McTominay or Eriksen in there for Fred. Scott McTominay for the physical and his running and his discipline, which is underrated, and Eriksen for his composure and be able to string passes together, something Scott can't do. So if we could mold Scott and Eriksen together, that would be the ideal player that we need right now. So yeah, I would take Fred out for now. I think Fred, he's got a lot of work to do, Errol, to sort of get into the side, I believe. I know you endorse him a lot, but I just think he's lacking at the moment. I think he's a player who can come on and give us a lot of energy with the 5 substitutions we have. So he will be getting game time, but I just don't think he should start.
Omundi, you know what that is, yeah? That's wickedness. You know why? Just because Maguire is dropped definitely now, yeah? That's the reason why you're picking on Fred. And Mr. B will be turning and going mad in a minute because you put Scott in instead. Mr. B ain't going to be happy with you today.
I know. But fortunately for me, Mr. B's not around. He's probably steaming right now at home watching the show.
Okay, guys, let's go through some of these guys now and find out what their actually team selection was. So, Omundi, would you mind? I believe you highlighted
So
it.
the game has gone to Gea, Delos, Varane, Martinez, Malacia, Casemiro, Eriksen, Bruno. That's the midfield. Fernandes is 10. Rashford. How many players is this actually? Can someone count these? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
12.
8,
12 players.
8.
12 players.
1, 2,
There's
3,
12.
4, 5,
12,
6,
yeah.
7, 8, 9, 10. You got 12 men on the pitch, man. Come on. Boyd. I was thinking there's something wrong with that. Rebel saying De Gea, Malacia, Dalot, same defense. Casemiro, Fred, Bruno. That's
Yes, get in there.
And the same, almost the same. He's got 9 players. He's got 10 players.
He's picked the same team, is it?
Oh, he's got 10 players, 11 players. So same
He's
team.
picked the same team.
Thank you.
Midfield
This is why I need Rebel on here. Man of sense.
And I just say to everybody, Solo and Rebel were on a phone call before the show started. No. I'm not having that. No way.
Boy did.
Go Paul got the same defense. Midfielders McTominay, Eriksen, and Bruno. No Casemiro and Rashford, Sancho, and Martial. And I think there's one more team selection here yet from Gavin Ward. He's saying same defense. Casemiro, Fred, and Eriksen. And then Rashford, Bruno. Sorry, there's no Bruno in the side. Sorry. Casemiro, Fred, and Eriksen. No Bruno. Martial, Rashford, and Sancho. There you go. And Fred won't start, says Gopal. What he's saying to you, that's definitely directed to you, and saying you cannot not play Eriksen, says a HD Gamer as well. Do you want to say hi to Rich Sports as well? Rich Sports, how you doing, man? He's saying it's going to be an interesting test versus Southampton as well. So this is really building up. Thank you.
You got Eddie's got his team in as well, I believe.
He's got the same defense. He's got in midfield. He's got Fred, Casemiro, and Eriksen. No Bruno, Martial, Rashford, and Sancho. So yeah.
Interesting. Quickly before we go on, guys, get your score prediction in as well because that'll be the next part. Interesting though, Jack. It seems like United fans are very divided at the moment with Bruno Fernandes because I thought he had a half decent game against Liverpool. But what I've seen on other social media and actually other channels, they don't think he had a good game.
I think he had a good game personally. I think the captain's armband suited him, but I still think he goes through little phases in the game of dropping back into his old habits of playing 60, 70-yard balls when a 10-yard ball is on. I think there was 60 seconds to go or 90 seconds to go, and he got the ball on the left wing, and all he had to do was run into the corner with it and just fucking shut down, But no, he opened his body. He tried to play a cross-field ball, and he kicked it straight to I think it was Van Dijk, and Liverpool were on the attack with 60 seconds to go. And if he can just take these little small things out of his game, I think it'll help him an awful lot. But I certainly do think he played well. I think the captain's armband brought the good out of him as well,
Pat?
I totally agree with Jack. I was one of the first to come out and say that I thought Eriksen was excellent, but I should have really said I thought Eriksen was excellent in the first half. I think he overran it. Well, he didn't know it. He worked himself a little bit too hard trying to impress. Come the second half, he didn't have the legs as much as he did have in the first half. Now, I know they're professional footballers and they should be able to run for 90 minutes, but the amount of running Bruno Fernandes did, you even heard the pundits in the commentary all saying, this is a different Bruno Fernandes. I thought he played very well. I thought he showed leadership, as Omundi stated, and what I'm learning in the eye test on Tuesdays at 10 p.m. is the mid-block. He was pulling the mid-block in together, and I was very impressed with the mid-block from the eye test on Tuesdays at 10 p.m. So,
and
if you had asked me last week, I did say I felt it was time for Fernandes to be dropped and make himself work into that squad. And I felt after his performance against Liverpool, if he can continue that way and improve, there's no reason why he should be dropped.
Yeah. And a quick one before we go on to it as well. Some of the sort of like, obviously, I know he covered so many distance as well against Liverpool. But not only that, but it's the way he basically went to the youngsters. And you see him, how he was trying to operate and pulling them together, trying to put them in, like directing them in the right way. I think that's what we want from a captain. I'm just saying, hashtag Omundi. That's what we want from a captain on Monday about Bruno Fernandes.
The captain should be doing like raffles in the change room and things like that. I don't know if you can do that. Maguire, I've heard Maguire's the best at that, and getting wives and girlfriends together for dinner and all that kind of thing. Anyway, going back to the question, I think you can play Eriksen and Bruno on the same side. Eriksen, if you saw him against Liverpool, he's so disciplined. He was sitting there with McTominay in midfield, and they kept together. They kept their shape together, which is really important when you've got players like Fred, which I'm sorry, I'm going back to Fred again, who would run out of position to try and close down. Got to close down, running down blind alleys, getting lost in a Bermuda Triangle, and suddenly we're out of position. I think the difference is Eriksen and McTominay, they just shuffled over, stuck together, and just kept that block nice and steady, which limited the chances and ability for Liverpool to play against us. So I think Eriksen is a must in midfield. He can proven that you don't have to have these enforcers in midfield. He does enough, and technically on the ball, even with the goal, you see the ball, he had to control it really tight in a tight area and then recycle it again before we scored that Sancho goal, you know. And that I thought, wow, great control under pressure there, and just done the right thing. And he plays the right thing, plays the right game. He's a team player as well. And just to see him playing that block like that double pivot, and play it so well, not drift out, not go out of position, and keep it tight. I just admire that so much, and it just shows that what an experienced player is, in contrast to Bruno, who maybe still hasn't got that nous about him, that experience. He does a lot of running, sometimes not intelligent running, and as Jack was saying earlier, giving the ball away in 90 minutes, a bit like what Barnes did when in 1989 against Arsenal, when he said, Steve McMahon goes, 2 minutes, you've got 2 minutes, then Barnes gives the ball away. So yeah, that decision making like that, I think it's really important at the high end.
Okay, so guys, we're going to go in now. We're going to look at score predictions. So let's go with Jack. What's your score prediction? Southampton versus Manchester United.
I'm going to go 2-0 to Manchester United. I'm going to, I suppose, go off of the good performance that the defence had first and foremost against Liverpool. I think if it remains the same, I think we will do. I think they'll be okay. Especially, obviously, we touched on it earlier with the Che Adams, a big physical man on the likes of Martinez. But no, I think we'll be okay. I think there's a good. I think there's a good camaraderie building. I know it's only one game, but I do want to see it further. To see can we expand on it. Look, I think the team will be brimming with confidence after the result on Monday. I can see goals in the team, obviously, with both Rashford and Sancho scoring last week. If you're to bring Anthony Martial into that as well, absolutely, I think we can score goals. And if the likes of Casemiro plays, and he plays the way we know he can in relation to controlling that midfield, I think we could see maybe Bruno bag him on either as well. It'll give him that opportunity to, to play further up the field, or Eriksen, either or. So 2-0 Manchester United.
Yeah. And as you said there, Jack, I'm just going to quickly say I saw some highlights of Bruno Fernandes. Van der Beek today was sort of like trying to do some dribbling, taking the mickey out of Cristiano Ronaldo when they were doing the warm up against Liverpool, and Ronaldo sat there and literally was almost crying because basically Van der Beek couldn't do the step overs like what Ronaldo used to do back in the days, and that's why he's trying to imitate. So where they're saying about there is a divide, their possibility to divide Ronaldo is creating so many problems. From what I saw and I gathered from just that little clip alone, I don't think there's a lot sort of like going on back scene. I think it's just people making stories up regarding what's going on at Old Trafford to sell stories.
I think you're right there. And there's a video as well that I seen on Twitter today of Ronaldo actually going around to every starting player in the warm-up, high-fiving them, saying, fist pumping them, saying, come on, and stuff like that. So I think a lot of it is blown up by the media. Absolutely.
Yep. So, Pat, I'll come to you last because I know what on Monday. Come on Monday, let's do it. I hope this score has changed over the years.
We're early in the season. I just don't know. I think we're capable of winning 2-0. I'm going to go with Jack again. I think we are capable of winning 2-0. That's 2 decisive goals and controlling the game against a team that should not really have that much threat against us if we're on our game. I want to say hi to Vincent. I haven't seen you before, Vincent, but you're curious about my name. My name is Kenyan. It's a Kenyan name, Omundi Juma, but I'm Jamaican. And you worked that one out. And I've never been to Kenya in my life, but I love the culture there. Where are you from, Vincent? Thanks for joining the Man United agenda. And he's saying 4-1.
Okay. Pat?
I'm going to go for a nice, exciting 3-0. I got the fixture. I got the result right last week. I hope I get it right this week. So I'm gonna go for hopefully Manchester United to do what they haven't been doing for all the last couple of seasons, which is not killing the game off in the first half. I'd like to see at least Manchester United score 2 goals in the first half and just get not consolation, just get a third goal in the second half, kill the game off. And then what I want to see is Charlie Savage and Sadanic Ball being brought on in midfield and given a run. And that's how I want to see the rest of the season go. If our fortunes are good, we stay injury free and we kill games off in the first half. So fingers crossed, that's what we get to see.
Yep. Okay. So I'm going to go. Normally, I always sit here and stick my neck out and go 3-1. But I'm going to actually sit here now and think we're going to win 2-1. And I believe my boy, player of the season, Sancho, will get a goal this week. I think Ronaldo, if Ronaldo starts, Ronaldo will get a goal. And I think Ward-Prowse will score that free kick. And by the way, Vincent, I'm Jamaican, but my name is Solo. I'm flying solo. So Amanda, would you mind just running through one or two of these quick comments as well? We've got Michael Moon. Is that Michael Moon?
Yeah. Here we go. Michael Moon, how you doing? He's singing, Welcome. We're gonna win the league. We're gonna win. Anyway, we're not going to go into chorus here, but I agree with you. We got a good side and we're on the up. So big up Michael Moon and welcome to the Man United agenda. I'm going to go to this comment. Here's my favourite so far. It's Robbie Norman. He's saying, fair play, great contribution from Jack tonight. So Jack, take a bow.
Take a bow, Jack.
Appreciate it, guys. Thanks a lot.
And guys, we want Jack back on the show because, he's talented for sure. Go Paul is saying 3-1 to Manchester United. We've got another 3-1 from Gavin Ward. But
can I say something before you finish your comments? Yeah. I'm on there. Hey, if you want to see Jack back on the channel, there's 46 likes only. Can we get 60 likes and we get Jack back on next week?
Come on.
Get him up. Come on.
How have we only got 46 likes?
Oh, come on. Oh, God.
Andy Long is saying 3-1 to Man United. And like you said, Vincent saying Omundi, he's in Nairobi, Kenya. So everyone's saying Vincent, we're international out here.
Yeah, I got married in Mombasa, just to let you know.
Oh, wow.
There you go.
Well, there you go. So, Vincent, welcome to the family, man. And I am Omundi Juma, and I can blend into the Kenya, no problem with you guys. Can't pronounce your name. Camagel, excuse me, but I'm going to call you Camo, if that's all right. He's saying it's 4-2 to Man United. And Camo, welcome to the channel.
Welcome to the
channel.
Nice
to see you here, bro. And we've got some other score lines coming in. No, just big ups to Matthew because Matthew's working. But Matthew's here.
Matthew will be here tomorrow night with us as well.
Tomorrow night, 10 p.m. We'll see you.
No,
Matthew.
He's not. He's here. He's doing 2 shows tomorrow, Matthew. He's doing 8:30 p.m. and 10 o'clock tomorrow. Matthew's doing the rounds.
Is that legal?
I don't know. We'll ask the questions after.
We'll get a match 6 for his eyes.
Yeah.
Okay, Jack's guys, what we've done as well, if you check the description, we have put the link for Jack's channel within the description of the channel, so please go check him out. But here you go, Jack, plug yourself away, sir.
Yeah, Jack, United Community Channel. I do a transfer talk show on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 7:30. Do all of the watch-alongs, and I have a podcast as well, United Community Podcast. We go live on the Podbean app every Monday from 7:30, and you can get it on Spotify or anywhere you listen to your podcasts.
Thank you, Jack. Thank you, sir. Welcome as well. And always, we will see. It is a joke, basically. You can give us a like, but we'll definitely see Jack back on the show. 51 likes. Jesus, Jack. There you go. See, that was quick. They want you back. They want you back.
I appreciate it, guys. Thanks for having me. I'd be glad to do it at any time.
Yep, and this is about Matthew Bassett getting time and a half as well. Yeah, I think he does need it. I think he does need it. So, there you go. There you go. He's telling us all he's up for it. I did not force him into doing it, by the way. But I'll be back here tomorrow, I believe, with Brosh and Matthew. And I think Monday's got the night off. Pat's got the night off. And tune in on Saturday, guys, because it's going to be a very special show on Saturday. I think, what, about 7 o'clock we're going live, guys? Roughly about 7. So make sure you tune in Saturday. But before we all do that, guys, tomorrow, 8:30 p.m., I'll be back here tomorrow with 8:30 p.m. with Matthew Bassett, and I believe Brosh will be on with me. And then on Saturday, I believe there is a watch-along as well for the game. And then after that, at 7 o'clock, there will be a Monday, Pat, myself, and possibility Paddy with us as well. We're not sure yet, but we'll see if Paddy's around for it as well. But from us at the Money Agenda, we'd like to say I'm Solo, on Monday, Pat, and we'd love to say, Jack, it's absolutely a pleasure having you back on the show, and we'll definitely see you. I'm seeing more of you as well. So, guys, from us tonight, good night.